How about the Oklahoma Sooners, my man?
So, yeah, everybody knows at this point. I've been a big backer of this team before the season, and in the first couple of weeks, I've been gassing them up, and, I've been catching shit for it. So, takeaways from this game. Brent Venables, him. Absolutely him. He's turned around the defense. They look fantastic. Dillon Gabriel, everybody laughed at me for saying he was a Heisman candidate. Look up in the race and see who's in there now, because he was incredible. And then the most important part that nobody wanted to talk about before the season. Who's the coach that got out-coached in this game?
I mean, it wasn't even close.
Coach circles around him.
Not only did the Vikings have to beat the Chiefs last night, they got to beat the refs. I don't get it. But I probably won't be fading the Chiefs anymore this season. The NFL's got an agenda, and that's get T Swift to the Super Bowl.
Need on table for it.
Man, I fucking love Georgia. I think this line is crazy. This spread is telling, in my opinion, and it tells me Georgia is going to kick the shit out of them.
Damn, brand new bag for bro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Wednesday, episode 337. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two co-hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by Pickett Sports. If you guys follow me on Pickett Sports, you saw all 5 of my losers from yesterday. Could not find a win on the board. Chat, we've got some work to do. My goodness. Party of 57 piece coming in hot from DeGen. Love to see it, boys. W Raids. Way to start it off today, gents. Chat, we've got some work to do. I cannot hit a bet to save my life yesterday. Javon, I'm sure you had a couple winners up your sleeves, but not our best work.
No, not at all.
No, not even close. Let's go ahead and do the L recaps. Go ahead and show that shit squad ride. Dallas Stars ML, I freaking bets. That was an absolute tease piece and a half. They go up 1-0, tied 1-1. They go up 2-1. 3 minutes left in the game. It's tied, and then they make you wait till double OT. Not even regular OT. They make you wait for a second one, Javon, and to see that loser. So hate to see it. We got Sabres. The only green check mark on the entire freaking graphic. That's embarrassing. Oh, hate to see it.
Jeez.
Audio's ass, people are saying. Chat, can I get some 10s? Can I get some 4s? And can I get some passes, I guess you could say, on this graphic? We need to bounce back today with some winners. All right, 10-4s, we're good. W's chat. Yeah, chat, hate to say it, but absolute reverse fades and maybe my worst bets ever that I've given out at once. We'll go over the prize picks entry, the A team and B team that we crafted up yesterday. Those I don't think really did much better.
Yeah,
Javon,
also for winners.
Also Moose shit. Also Moose. Javon, where did we misfire here?
Pretty much everywhere.
Pretty much every square. Yep. Chat, we're due. Okay, yesterday was yesterday. Today's today. I'm not even worried about it. It's over. Okay. People in chat are saying Krabs is overrated. People are weird, man. People are actually weird.
The guy chirps in chat in all caps.
Yeah, that guy just hates my guts. He probably wishes he was me so bad. But we move. Chat, we move, Javon. Steam Krabs today, it's probably just my entire card from yesterday. Maybe some of the worst bets ever. They weren't even close. The Nerfy, that was busted up by my guy, Trey Turner. Once a friend, now turned enemy. Javon, Trey Turner. It sucks to watch all these Nationals games, lined up right behind each other, all hitting nukes, all about to go to the World Series. It sucks. Not going to lie. I feel like that happens with a lot of teams, but, seeing Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper in the meat of that lineup, producing, having fun, going to the World Series, probably again. It definitely stinks a little bit because those guys were in DC and that's where they belong, but they're not there anymore because we're not a good run organization and we don't keep anybody. Hate to see it, but the Phillies are absolutely electric. And honestly, Goots, we could probably flash that graphic that you sent me earlier. If we wanted to go over that for today, we could. Talking about Philly and that absolute murder they put on the Diamondbacks last night, Javon. I mean, it wasn't even close. They don't even belong in this series, it looks like. I mean, you have Merrill Kelly, who, by the way, was in the KBO 5 years ago, sitting up there in the media conference talking about how he doesn't even think it's going to be that loud. and then you go and get beat 10-0. What a joke. What a joke. You look like a fucking idiot. You look dumber than me with my bets last night. They were terrible. Yeah, it's even worse. We got Ron coming in hot with a subby. Let's go, Ron. Schwarber belongs in Chicago. Schwarber's so awesome. That guy just hits nukes. That's all he does. That's all he needs to do. It's crazy. He could hit 200 and hit 50 home runs every season for the rest of his career and maybe even make the Hall. He's just special. He is. And the guy's clutch. I mean, that game last night, Javon, it's like they were playing a high school team. It was never a game. Even after the first inning, they were down 1-0. Was never even a ball game. Is this series over?
It was over a long time ago. I mean, the NLCS was the last series. It was Phillies Braves. So it was never this one. So they got their wins out against the Dodgers, a team that wasn't really prepared for it. Phillies are. So, I mean, they never really had a pulse in this series, and now they quite literally don't.
Yep. They're kicked. And I'm assuming that game got pretty loud when Philly was scoring there, and Merrill Kelly was up on the bump. So he looks like an idiot. Maybe the only person looking dumber than me after going 0-5 on my bets last night. Okay. Chat, we've got some sub bangs coming in hot. You already know Ron's coming in with a subby. We got Jay Gucci coming in hot with a sub bang for the community. Love to see it. Should there be a mercy rule in baseball? I know this is more of a meme than anything, but and probably not in the playoffs because, God forbid there would be a crazy 10-0 comeback and, there's some sort of mercy rule that stunts it. But should there be a mercy rule in baseball? I mean, there's 162 games in the regular season. There's blowouts galore. Javon, is it something you think should be implemented in the sports? I mean, there's no way last night that Arizona was coming back in that game at all. They were dead. They were burnt toast.
Nah, if you're getting beat up, hold the runs. Try your best to come back. Let them have it. No mercy.
No mercy? Okay.
Yeah, yes. Get out there. If you're going to get embarrassed in the highest stakes of your season, you can get embarrassed.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel like it would give some incentive and probably speed up the games a little bit and have teams want to pile it on them and maybe end these games a little quicker. It's like when I played my men's league softball games and we're like, hey, we only need one more run here. We get to go home early and lay on the couch earlier. It's kind of like that, I guess you could say. So maybe add a motivation for the better teams, but I'm with you. The game's already getting sped up enough as it is. No need for a mercy rule to hop in, especially in the playoffs. Maybe regular season.
Yeah.
But probably not the playoffs.
Fair.
I'm with you. All right. W's, chats. That's enough talking about yesterday. That's enough talking about the new shit bets yesterday. And how much do you get paid in your softball league, Crabs? I get paid $0. I actually paid a play. Okay. Let's move. Let's groove, chats. Let's talk about some college football and NFL look-ahead lines, Javon. Why not us? We've got some really good college football games this weekend. A couple, I think we called out 3 NFL games we'll talk about here with some weird lines, but a bunch of college games with lines that are intriguing to me or just great matchups. And we could start with Penn State and Ohio State, Javon. I mean, this might be the game of the weekends, and we got the squad with boots on ground, which is a W. Chelly and Mikey going to that game. Should be electric. We know where their coins are going to reside, at least Chelly's. Javon, where are our coins going to reside? I know you mentioned Ohio State yesterday. You still liking them?
Yeah, I'll be keeping a close eye on the line. I want to make sure it doesn't tick back anymore. But, I mean, I thought the opener 5.5, 6 was crazy to begin with, and I still think it's a good amount of respect here for an Ohio State team who has impressed nobody and Kyle McCord who has impressed nobody against the Penn State team who, they know the spread. They've been fantastic, but we still have Drew Aller coming into the shoe. So we'll see how he looks, but it's definitely an early bucket lean for me.
Okay. Yep. I think I'm with you too, Javon. It's got to be Ohio State as of right now. People are talking about Penn State, though, being physical. Penn State being Michigan 2.0. I don't know if I'm buying it, man.
No,
I think it's got to be Ohio State.
I mean, like, what physical team have they played other than, like, Iowa, who is very physical but also can't score on the other side of the ball? Like, them being physical against UMass and Delaware doesn't really impress me to the point of where I'm scared of Ohio State and how they're going to be up against them physically,
I guess the 31-0 Iowa win would count for that, but I'm with you.
Yeah,
I mean, half the games they played have been against new shit teams. So you're right, 100%. Penn State's been getting hyped up a lot. Ohio State, I feel like, has taken care of business, but they haven't really gotten the tip of the cap or the credit that they probably expect or think they deserve at this point. Their defense has really impressed me. Their offense has not impressed me too much, but they've done enough. And I mean, they're still covering and smacking teams, Javon, at the end of the day. So it's got to be Ohio State right now for an early lean. I don't see myself betting Penn State here in this spot. I also wouldn't mind the under as well in this game, Javon. I think it'll be a defensive battle. Total's actually down about 10 points from the opener from a couple weeks ago, but I don't know how much it's dropped this past week or so, but definitely wouldn't mind that under. I feel like points will be coming at a premium between these two teams. A lot of nerves, right? This is a big-time game, 200 feet of teams facing off in prime time.
Yeah.
Big noon kickoff, right? God, that's going to be an insane game. Give me Ohio State. Give me the under. All right? Dubs. We move. Let's talk about Air Force and Navy, guys. We've got our Air Force Shark, Dead Larry Bird, in chat here. It brings him up, I think, every single week. Just for Air Force, though, Javon. Their star QB, of course, as soon as they get ranked now, they start to get their flowers because they are a very cool team, and they've been destroying everyone they've played. But their QB, he's hurt. Their star dual threat QB, Javon, who's more of a runner than a passer. I mean, he does play at Air Force, but he's been carrying their team, and they do have a stud RB as well, who now they're definitely going to have to lean on. He's toast. So I don't know what their game plan is. I'm assuming Air Force doesn't have a stud backup quarterback. That would definitely be a pleasant surprise. Air Force, now they got to go play Navy, a team that knows them very well, a rival, right? A team who, sure, they might be 3-3, but it doesn't matter what the records are. At this point, it doesn't matter what these two teams are playing for. They fucking hate each other, dude. It's Air Force and Navy. Are you kidding me? It might not be Army and Navy, but these two schools absolutely hate each other. The amount of shit they talk, the kids at these schools, it's nuts. And this game's at Navy too, Javon. Air Force is going to have to run out their backup QB on the roads at Navy, and they'll fill up that crowd a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You could probably hint at what I'm getting at here. It's got to be Navy with the points when Air Force is figuring out their new shit with their new QB. It's got to be the midshipmen at home getting 10. And they've looked much better recently the last couple of weeks. Their defense has really turned it up. I mean, they held Charlotte to 0 points in that last game. That's impressive. Maybe their defensive-minded new head coach is starting to lock in and hit midseason form here for the Mids.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, their defense has looked much improved and
much better.
Like Charlotte is no incredible offense or anything, but I can say North Texas, as bad as they are defensively, that's a pretty dynamic offense that they shut down for the most part, most of that game. So, I mean, it's been pretty impressive the last couple of weeks, and now you obviously have the familiarity with the scheme, which they see every single year, and they run themselves to a T. So I do think their defense is going to lock in this game. Obviously, in these games, you see a very low total, 35.5, with a 10.5, 11-point spread is hilarious. Mike likes the over. I don't know if I can get on board with that, but I do think Navy scores. I just think it's going to be a Navy play for me against Air Force, who they've only played one team with a winning record. So they're kind of in the same boat as Penn State, but maybe worse. They have like the third easiest schedule in the country. So yes, they've been printing especially ATS, but who have they played too? So that's a Navy team is starting to get it going. I will take my chances against the backup quarterback at home.
One of their wins, Javon, was against Sam Houston State. The worst team in college football. So, yeah, I mean, they played Wyoming. Whoop-de-doo, great. They barely beat them. Didn't even cover against them. Their QB got hurt. So at what cost did you even get that win? Because now Air Force is fucked. Sure, you beat San Diego State, who might be the worst San Diego State team I've ever seen. Oh, you beat San Jose State too. Nice. They're absolute moose shit. Oh, cool. You beat Utah State and you covered against them. Well, they're absolutely atrocious too. And then who does Air Force play in the first game of the season? I forget. Oh, nice. Robert Morris. Yeah, they're really good, right? Guys, come on. I mean, Navy's had a tougher schedule than Air Force up to this point. They played teams like USF, Memphis, Notre Dame in the first game of the season, right? And this Navy defense is really locking up. I mean, Javon, they only let up 24 points to a North Texas team. That's not too shabby, right? Yeah. We know they got rid of Coach Ken this past season, who was more of the offensive guy. And they promoted their defensive coordinator to be head coach. So no crazy changes going on at Navy. But as their head coach, gets his feet under him and they get into midseason form, their defense has started to lock in. I'm not really surprised because, they're a defensive-minded team. And their QBs, they got 3 of them that they use, and they're only going to get better as they figure out that situation down the line as well. Hopefully, they kind of lock into more of a 1 QB or 2 QB set, but they kind of use all three for different shits. You don't really know what to expect from Navy on offense either at times because they got 1 QB now who can throw, a young guy, and then 2 runners. So give me the points. Give me Navy. I don't know if I'm crazy enough like Mike to take the over in this game, but I wouldn't be taking the square under. I'll tell you that much. No chance.
Fair enough.
Dubs. Let's talk about Tennessee and Bama. Tennessee, fraudulent team, getting 8.5 points, I believe, to Bama on the road here, Javon. What's your early lean? Yeah, minus 8.5 for Bama at home here.
Yeah, it would have to be an early lean towards Bama, which I think, as questionable as sometimes the offense seems for Bama, which I do think they're getting it together a little bit with Jalen Milroe. It's just been inconsistent. Like last week, they put together a really good first half, and then there were ghosts in the second half. But the one thing that really hasn't wavered for me with Alabama is how improved their defense has looked the last handful of weeks. Yeah. So against the Tennessee team and a Tennessee offense that I think is very overrated and fraudulent, we talk about the attack with Joe Milton there. I think they're going to struggle at times in this game. So got to lead with Alabama. I do think I was kind of expecting a 7.5, maybe 8 in this game. So to see 8.5, 9 across the board it's a little interesting to me. But I do think on the road, Tennessee gets clamped.
Yep. I don't know how much scoring Tennessee and overrated Joe Milton are going to be doing in this one on the road down in Tuscaloosa. And Javon, I mean, Bama's already been beaten at home once this year. You think they're getting beaten at home twice? Do you think Nick Saban's letting that happen? You think they're getting caught sleeping against a team like Tennessee? They're not catching them sleeping. Are you kidding me? Tennessee is one of the most overrated teams in football, in my opinion. They stink. Give me Bama. Give me the points. Give me the under. I think Bama holds Tennessee to less than 14 points in this game. I do. I think they absolutely clamp up, and Milton has zero success. He has zero time to throw the ball, and when he does, he's misfiring because he's not accurate. He just throws the ball 80 yards.
I get it with that.
Sure. Okay. Chad saying Tennessee by 14. Wow. Okay. Joe Milton sucks. If they put Nico in, Tennessee would probably win. I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that. Maybe a Nico appearance. Yeah. Guys, Milton is not that guy. He just throws the ball really far, and that's cool. Don't get me wrong. Maybe they can figure out some sort of, longest drive competition type thing for QBs, Javon, for guys who can't actually play the position, and they just throw the ball really far. Maybe they just start up some sort of comp on TV with guys just hucking the ball as far as they can, because he's not going to find a career in the NFL. No chance.
No, probably not.
No accuracy. All right. What about TCU and Kansas State, Javon? Talk about your Horned Frogs in this spot with their new QB potentially, who shined last week in his first appearance, right?
Yeah, I mean, he looked great. Threw for 400, and granted, it was against a BYU defense that when they play any team with like any sort of speed in the Big 12, they're going to give up a million points and look terrible. It's just kind of the way that they play. So we've seen that like they did with Kansas. Now they play TCU. Team's going to do the same thing. So they look bad. I want to buy in, but I don't know if I can get there yet. We do have potentially a backup quarterback on the other side. You saw our man who was vulturing touchdowns, scored 5 on the ground for Kansas State potentially coming in. I don't know the situation with Will Howard, so we'll see how it kind of plays out throughout the rest of the week. This is for a team who, in essence, kind of looked like they figured it out, and now they made the quarterback change. This seems like a lot of disrespect, even on the road here for TCU. So, I mean, I would have to lean Kansas State here. Again, we'll pay attention to the quarterback situation with them too, but I'm not I'll hop on the Josh Hoover train, but I don't know if I can do it this week just yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's got to be Kansas State laying the points here against the Frogs.
Yeah.
Has to be. Okay. Mike shouting out Annapolis. W's. People forget I used to live in Annapolis. The over is going over in 2 of the last 3 times they played in Annapolis. Okay. And Air Force runs the ball more, so a backup QB will not make a huge difference. I mean, yeah, they're still going to run the ball a bazillion times. The only issue is
that's the difference too.
What's up?
So they run the ball with the QB, which is the difference too.
Yeah, he's a stud, which is the problem here because I can't imagine their backup is very good. It's Air Force. This is not Alabama.
It's also quarterback has to make a read every single play. So it's like a guy who's been in that offense for that long, knowing how to operate the offense at that level is a big difference.
Indianapolis. I used to think they were talking about Indianapolis, but turns out it was Indianapolis, like the Colts. People could say I was stupid back in the day when that commercial came out.
Should I put boots on ground and nuke the over?
Goots. People forget Goots is boots on ground for the Navy game eventually.
I could be.
Goots, I would never send you there to go watch that game and bet on that over. That's like torture.
Yeah, I think I'd rather
That's
sit on my couch.
That's like it's like us hazing you. You're not doing that, Goots. Come on.
Yeah, probably not.
You can watch that one from the comfort of your couch.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's talk about Duke and Florida State here, gents, real quick. We don't know if Riley Leonard's going to be playing. I'm assuming that he is not. Or sorry, I'm assuming that he is with that
Yeah,
spread.
it seems like he's trending towards playing, but I don't know.
The spread moving to 13.5 too. I mean, guys, Vegas always knows, right? So if you're ever wondering, if you think a guy's going to play, take a peep at that line and see what it tells you. Right now, this line tells me he probably will play. Javon moving from 16.5 to 13.5. And if it keeps moving and getting shorter, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets confirmed, if this gets closer to around 10 or 11, potentially. But either way, I mean, this will be the best defense Florida State has faced this season against Duke, whether they have their QB or not. But, I mean, if they don't have Riley Leonard, they're not going to be able to move the rock at all. So, Javon, I don't know what the play is here. I mean, they did kind of impress last week against an NC State team who stinks, by the way. That's official. They are actually terrible, and they've lost everybody to the NFL, and the people who have stepped in stink. So we're not betting on them anymore. Not even that impressive of a win, but they did put up a 24-piece with their backup QB against NC State. Not, unimpressive.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's really moving the needle for me that they did that against the MJ Morris-led team, but I mean, the defense has been there. We knew that all season from early in the season. A couple of the games there, they're impressed, even though like Clemson, incredibly overrated. And I don't know if we're talking about that game, but Clemson, incredibly overrated. Notre Dame's offense at that time, still incredibly overrated. So like their defense gets the job done. And again, FSU hasn't faced many tough defenses. And the second they faced any sort of pressure on Jordan Travis and any semblance of stopping the run game, they've struggled. So this week, Riley Leonard or not, I would love to bank on the Duke defense, and Riley Leonard being ruled in would only help.
You're telling me even if he plays, you're buying that good news and you'll be laying in with the Dukies, grabbing those points?
Yeah, because I don't think he'll be the difference is my thing. Like
the defense is the difference.
Defense is the difference. Like if you look at
Jalco is the difference.
Yeah, I was looking through like some of the PFF grades, and there's literally 3 Power 5 teams that operate worse under pressure than Florida State, and they've seen 0 teams that rank in the top 50 of generating that. So they're not very good. Like they're going to be one of those teams, kind of like Georgia, which who knows now with Brock Bowers, but they're just going to flow by because they don't play many teams other than, a big defensive challenge here, which they still should beat Duke, but we'll see how they come out.
Wow. We've got a chat bomb.
Kyler
Murray playing. He's practicing. Okay. Good for him. What are thoughts on Ohio State, Penn State? Leaning Ohio State and the enda right now, John Big, not Peters. All right. We did go over that first. Let's keep powering through, Javon. We've got plenty to go over today. Chat, we're going to do some NFL tiers list potentially, some NFL team rankings, maybe some NFL QB rankings if we have time. And then obviously we're going to be talking about these Wednesday night football games. I mean, electric games tonight with FIU, Sam Houston, and New Mexico State UTEP. Guys, don't get too excited. Okay, but we'll talk about those 2 games, talk about some NHL, if Javon's got some in those 2 games on the ice, and then Houston versus Texas as well. Have to talk about it. Rumor has it Trent and Lauren might be going boots on ground to that game tonight, Javon.
Believe so.
Could be a W.
Yeah.
Okay, W's. Let's power through a couple more of these college football look-ahead lines, guys. Let's talk about Utah and USC. Javon, these Utes, man, talk about the physical team. I mean, Utah, they got one of the best defenders in college football, and they really, I don't even think they've hit their peak yet. They're 5-1. They entered this game against USC, the 14th ranked team in the country, after actually ranked ahead of USC, Javon. But USC is laying 7 points here. Oh, damn. Seems like Vegas and the odds makers are expecting a bounce back.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking, which, again, I think the story for me would be a little different here. Obviously, if the game was in Rice-Eccles in Salt Lake City, where Utah, I mean, their defense travels and it's really great anywhere, but especially there, they're just unbeatable. And we saw that a little bit last year, even though they did put up points against that defense. They lost the game. So I don't want to go near fading USC and a bounce back spot here, but I certainly I still have my questions about how good they're just going to be against this defense. And yeah, who knows? I would assume that if we haven't seen Cam Rising to this point, we're probably not going to see him. He's probably going to redshirt because there's something going on. I don't want to speculate, but they're clearly lying about what's going on behind the scenes there.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Actually, who knows what's going on with that?
He's got to be severely there's some debilitating injury that they're not.
I mean, it could be stuff we don't even know. It could be non-injury stuff. We have no clue.
It could be. Yeah, it certainly could.
Because he'll show up before the game, and take his reps on the field looking like he's ready to roll, and then he won't play for another 3 weeks. We won't hear anything about him. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. I hope everything's okay. Would love to see Cam Rising back in college football. The guy's absolutely electric. He's got the Baker Mayfield mojo, I guess you could say, out there. That's just kind of how he plays, and I like watching it. I enjoy it. But something's up there.
Something's definitely up. But yeah, I mean, with Nate Johnson in there, I really have no hope for the Utah offense. But the Utah defense, they play the exact same scheme as Notre Dame does. So it's not in rec tackles. It's not at home where they're unbeatable. But I don't know that Caleb Williams in the offense is going to bounce back all that much. But when you have that offense on the other side on the road, what are you really going to do?
It's got to be the under, right?
Could be the under, yeah.
It's got to be the under or USC, to be honest with you. Just looking at this spot, I mean, USC has not covered in a month now, Javon. So you could start talking about buying low on Caleb Williams. I mean, after his worst game by far against the Irish. I mean, I'm sure he's, lost some sleep this week thinking about that one. He's looking at those Heisman odds, absolutely tanking. Michael Penix now minus money to win the Heisman. I mean, Caleb Williams right now is watching the Heisman slip out of his hands. He's watching it happen right in front of his eyeballs. If he doesn't do anything soon about it, it's over. It might already be too late, to be honest with you. So it's got to be USC here with the points. They're not going to, let up at all in this spot after coming off a loss. It's probably ruined their season. So they're going to be coming out of this game angry as shit against a Utah team that still doesn't have their QB, still struggling on offense. I do think Utah's defense will show up and cause some issues here, Javon, especially if you're talking about them running the same schemes as Notre Dame. But it's got to be USC with the points and probably that under as well. They probably hold Utah, to less than 15 points in this game as well.
Yeah, I could very well see it.
Okay. Yeah, the Heisman odds, man. Michael Penix minus Chick. Crazy.
Yeah,
who would have expected that a couple weeks ago with how well Caleb was playing, but wild, man. I mean, USC fraudulent, not saying Caleb's fraudulent, but he's been struggling a little bit. I still think he'll be a stud in the NFL, but doesn't have the team around him. Michael Penix does, and Michael Penix has been showing up in big spots. I mean, he got a huge win this past weekend against Oregon when everybody was watching. He got it done, and the guy was freestyling, Javon, when they were trying to pull off a comeback. That's how relaxed, cool, calm, and collected he was. I'm sure you saw that. Wild, by the way. Hilarious. Chad, I'm sure you guys saw that of him literally freestyling a freaking bench to one of his teammates when they're literally about to go back out there on the field and try to pull off a comeback. I mean, talk about confidence. Most guys would be shitting their pants on the bench when they're on primetime TV, about to lose to Oregon and their, Heisman and national championship hopes are slipping out of their hands. Wild. Dylan Gabriel for Heisman. Don't let him get hot, chat.
Revenge game this weekend.
Shortest odds, technically. He does. Technically, he has the second shortest odds here on this graphic, right?
Yeah.
W's.
The thing with he'll have his chances because, I mean, if he can win, I mean, it's a big question because their schedule is not cake. But if he can win out, Michael Penix, as much as I love Washington, they ain't making it through their schedule unblemished. That minus 145 ain't going to stay at minus 145. So he'll have a shot. It's all he asked for with a big long shot bet.
Okay. Give the guy a goddamn chance. All right. He's still breathing. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Just to play his old team this week, which is huge.
That could be the difference, actually, Javon.
Yeah. If you think I'm not locking in Dylan Gabriel squares and props, out of your mind.
Yeah. Come on. You're nuts. You're a lunatic if you're not locking those in. Come on. All right. One more game here in college, Javon, and then we got 3 NFLs we're going to look to, and then we're going to keep moving and grooving. Clemson and Miami, real quick, and also fuck Miami for what they did to us last week. I mean, they absolutely folded. What are we doing betting on Tyler Van Dyke? What are we doing betting on Mario Cristobal? That team is moose. Javon. And they got me. They bamboozled my ass, thinking that they were going to bounce back after, maybe the worst blown game of all time 2 weeks ago. And then that's how they bounced back last week, Javon. That's what Miami comes out with. Like, were they even upset that they blew the game the week before? Or I guess they just threw in the towel when that was the case, and they said, fuck it, I guess we're not going to go to the college football playoffs now, so we might as well not give a shit. That's how they looked and played last week. I mean, they didn't give a hoot. Couldn't make a tackle. UNC slicing and dicing them up. I mean, this Miami defense got absolutely torched, and now they're +3 here at home against Clemson, Javon. Another team who really hasn't been doing their job too well. They did win the last 2 games, but, I mean, they barely beat Wake Forest in their last game, Javon. And I think they've had a bye in between that. I don't think they played last week, but you're telling me their last game, they're coming off of a 5-point win against a Wake Forest team that Virginia Tech beat? Jesus Christ, man. Clemson is not that guy. Both these teams aren't. What do we do here, though? Miami's coming off of 2 losses. Clemson's coming off of winning 4 of their last 5 with a Florida State loss mixed in there, but they're not covering. They're not looking sharp. Both these teams stink.
Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to the right. We're going to hit that +130, and we're just going to do it. We're going to press the button. Miami's going to upset Clemson.
You're going to take Miami on the ML?
On the ML. Screw the points. They're going to win this game. And I'm doing it one more time. They have one more chance to prove to me that they can do it.
Hey, we use the 3-strike system here, Javon, and they're only on strike 2.
Yeah,
right?
strike 2, I guess. But, yeah, they're doing it this weekend. Clemson on the road. I mean, Clemson, period, just hasn't impressed anybody. And outside of, the Syracuse game, which I think Syracuse is a little overrated to this point, they really haven't done anything on the road. Because, I mean, the one other road game they've had, they got blown out against Duke. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like the Miami home crowd advantage and the Dolphins, what is it? I don't even know what the stadium's called at this point, but the Dolphin Stadium is not going to act like they have the greatest home field environment in college football.
They don't give a hoot.
Comparable to the other two. It's pretty terrible. But on the road, Clemson hasn't shown me enough. So I think the reason why this line is ticking down is because Miami's going to bounce back after these 2 losses. So their offense isn't going to look fantastic. It's a tough Clemson defense, but again, on the road, they've looked a little human. So give me the Hurricanes on the ML upset.
Sheesh, no points needed.
No.
Fuck the points. You can keep them. All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the Manders and Giants line, chat. You guys want to take a guess what that line's at? Oh, it's at 2. And we're about to lose. I can already tell. This is just screaming Giants ML. Talk about not needing the points. Yeah, you're not going to need them here, folks. No chance. It's going to be the Giants all the way. Go ahead and lock them in for a 10U Beluga Whale Pay Your Rents play of the millennium. Because there's no way that the Commanders, after any of their 3-game losing streak, go to New York on the roads and pull off a win. There's no way. And the worse the Giants have looked, the worse the record is, the more confident I am in the Giants winning this game. As little as that makes sense, chat, only Manders fans or NFC East followers will understand. And is Danny Dimes back, chat? The Giants are probably in a better spot if Danny Dimes isn't back. I mean, they probably look better with Tyrod Taylor going out there making plays. I don't think it's going to matter. Does it even make a difference? I don't think so. And in this spot, it's going to be the Manders who lose the game themselves and fuck it up. It's not even going to be the Giants winning it. They're just going to be there, standing there, just being the other team. They're not going to go out there and win it. It's going to be the Manders who lose it. And guys, anyone who's a Manders fan, anyone who's a fan of these teams in the NFC East, they already know what I'm saying. They can feel it too. It's just the -2 spread on the road with the Manders. It's such cake. It's such cake. It's got to be the Giants on the ML.
We just got to take and move on.
I mean, yeah, you might as well take them in the survivor pool. They're not losing. They're not losing. You might as well take them. G-Men need this win. Yeah, unless they're sneak tanking, which people aren't talking about enough. Is Daboll sneak tanking, folks? Because he's throwing his hands up in shock and awe, when the games are ending or when they can't get a snap off before half, acting like he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. This guy won Coach of the Year last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was, Javon. How does he go from being one of the best coaches in football to being the worst like that? Has he lost his fastball, or is he just sneak tanking for Caleb Williams potentially? Because if it's the latter, then maybe the Manders do have life.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, because I saw him in that division with the Panthers, obviously. I don't think he was ever that good of a coach.
Damn.
Which is a conversation for another time. But, I mean, thankfully he had MVP or Cam Newton and a lot of key pieces on that offense that made him look very good. But he was a good coach. I think he was a little overrated as a coach, and now we're starting to see that, when he doesn't have an MVP quarterback, exposed a little bit. So it's my 2 cents on Ron Rivera. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I was talking about Dable, bro.
Oh, you're talking about Dable?
Yeah, dude. I know Ron sucks as a coach. Give me a break.
Yeah. Well,
I'm talking
Dable, I
about
think
Dable.
Dable, I think he's a little behind, which is not completely his fault, on adjusting to the schemes with the personnel that they currently have, which, a lot of it hinges on the offensive line too. Like, there's only so much that Dable can unlock. Yeah, there's only so much that he can unlock with that offense, with the offensive line that they have. Because a lot of Dable's offense, it's no really in between. It's a lot of quick passes, but it also is a lot of long developing routes. And when you have 50% of that cut off because you have 5 traffic cones in front of Daniel Jones or Tyrod Taylor, what the hell are you going to do?
That's facts. Yeah. They might have to get rid of Daniel Jones. I'm just going to say. Yeah. And hey, we got a freaking 5U whale from DeGen. Let's go. Come on, DeGen. He was chirping me in our group chat yesterday because I never respond in there. He said, if Krabs responds to this, I'll give 5 sub bangs on the stream yesterday. So obviously I did. Okay. DeGen, I got your ass, man. I appreciate you, though. Let's fucking go. 5U whale. Come on. I'm so locked in. I'm so locked. W's DeGen. Make sure you guys are checking out DeGen streams in the AM before BTL. All right. If you're trying to get surgical and trying to find winners, go check out his stream. Okay. Dubs, the Giants are unbeatable until Andrew Thomas is back. I don't know, man. And I'll be honest with you. The Manders just look so free in the spot, right? Their D-line should feast against this Giants offensive line, right? Well, it's the Giants versus Manders. Whatever you think's going to happen, flip that motherfucker because it's about to. And the opposite is. So that's just how these games go, Javon. The Manders are not winning. Take the Giants in your survivor pool. Take them on the ML. Go about your dad. Plain and simple.
There you go.
All right. Detroit and Baltimore, got to talk about this line because it's disgusting. Why are the Lions getting negative respect? They get none. Zip. Zilch. 0. I don't get it. It's got to be the Ravens -3 here, though, Javon. Every square on earth is going to be lining up to bet the Lions +3 this weekend.
Yeah. And I say, I think the line is strange at first glance, but I also don't think the Lions have gotten much respect from the books, especially when they go on the road. But
yeah,
it's definitely interesting to see that. So, I'd have to lean Ravens. Schematically, I think I lean the Ravens too. I think it's a tough spot for the Lions. Another road game here. But yeah, it looks like, I guess if you just take a stroll through the board, probably the easiest bet on the board, in my opinion.
Javon's Milk's model has the Ravens at 6.5. Okay.
There's the model.
Some value here.
There's the
Javon's Milk. Here's Javon's Milk's model. Okay. W's, we got Falser coming in with a subby. Been here since you guys were in diapers. W Falser, 22 months. Jesus. That's an OG. That's an absolute OG right there, folks. W's. Ravens -3. Got to be a play this weekend, Javon. Has to. What about Miami and Philly? Sunday Night Football. Want to shout this line out before we move on to bigger and better things here? Got to be one of the better games of the week, Javon. 2 5-0 teams. Who's fraudulent? Who's not? I might use my football brain here and just bet the Dolphins spread. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. I am not a believer in Philly. It's even gotten to the point where I've been chirping, Philly fans in my group chats, and they're even coming back and saying that they don't look that good. Hearing that from Philly fans, it's like, what? You guys are usually the most, biased and clouded-minded, fans out there. And now I'm hearing you guys say that Jalen Hurts isn't looking that good. Even they're aware of it. So maybe it's honestly too square to back Miami here in this spot because the public is starting to catch on to Philly not being as dominant as they were last season yet, although they still are 5-1. Javon, where's your head at there with this game? -2. Philly's laying at home with a total at 52. Kind of high.
Yeah, a little high. But, I honestly, starting to tick down. It opened, I think, 53.5, 54. I can tell you I'm probably going to be on the under in this game. I like the under a lot. And there's a lot going on both sides. I think the Eagles secondary is going to continue to get healthier. They're going to get a piece at least, maybe multiple back this week, which is huge. And the whole thing with the Eagles offensively is I really look at the entire league. The entire league, there's a couple good breakdowns on this that I've watched in the past week, but basically a lot of the offenses are taking what you get over the middle of the field, and then the defenses are just saying, stop us scoring us in the red zone, which the Dolphins have been very good at. The Eagles' defense, when healthy, has been very good at stopping. So I think if they are getting healthier against this Dolphins offense, which they have their own injury concern themselves, who knows what's up with Tyreek Hill? I assume he's in. Haven't heard anything otherwise, but it's only Wednesday, so we'll find out in the next couple of days. Feels like a weird spot. So I kind of do want to back the Dolphins, but I think the defenses show up in this game on both sides. And I think the Eagles, again, they have more of the sustained drives that you saw in the first half of that game against the Jets, where it's a lot of ground and pound, a lot of short passing game. And then we'll see Hurts. He's going to be pretty conservative with the ball. You know that. So if they put up an interception square for Jalen Hurts, you know what we have to do.
Yeah, I wish the Eagles weren't coming off that L to the Jets as well, but might not have a choice here. Might have to just square up and use that football brain and continue to fade the Eagles, who are still completely overrated and overvalued in the betting market. It's not even funny. I mean, if people have actually watched the Eagles play this season, they would understand what we're talking about here, that they don't look sharp at all. I mean, they don't. They look like shit. They're lucky they're 5-1. They have the easiest schedule on earth up to this point, and they've snuck by in all these games. They are not legit. The Dolphins are. McDaniels is, right? This Dolphins offense, whether they have, all their RBs or not, it doesn't matter. Okay? When Tua's healthy, that really is all that matters because they have so many weapons. They have so much speed. I know Philly's defense is okay, but they've taken a step back this year, and who the heck is going to keep up with all that speed on the Miami offense? I don't know. There's nobody.
Yeah.
Give me the +2, and I'm with you. Give me that nasty under. That's so gross. It just might work. Okay.
Badly.
W's. All right, chat. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I got some fucking crazy cough going, but we move, chat. Wow. We move. We're going to move to NFL tiers list. Okay, we're going to go and do a little NFL team rankings here, Javon, and then we're going to pivot to some Wednesday night college football. But hopefully we can zoom in here a little bit and get these L Corp ads out of the way.
You got to see the whole list, man.
I know we got to see the whole list. We got to see the bottom, too. All the guys on the bottom as well. Maybe we can't. Oh, man. Well, we could try. All right. Chat, here's the categories we're rolling with here. We've got GOATs at the top. We got coin respecters in the 2-hole. Mids, overrated. Got to be better. They got to step up right there. We got Moose Shit. And then we got Sean Payton. We got Sneak Tanks. Teams who we think maybe are sneak tanking here, folks. And then the Panthers because they're 0-6 and they're terrible. We'll go ahead and power through this, chat. And, yeah, the Chiefs' schedule has been pretty terrible, too. People aren't talking about that enough, chat. But let's move and let's groove here, Javon. Do we want to just start here with the Falcons? And we could just place the Cats where they need to go?
Yeah, we can do that.
Sure. I think the Falcons are overrated. I do. I know you disagree. I think you're probably going to vouch for them to be in the got to be better category, but I think Bijan is not as good as people think he is. I'm just going to say it. And I think their quarterback is a serious issue. Desmond Ridder is not that guy. Maybe I'm a little biased because they're, keeping Heineke, their real secret weapon, under wraps on the bench. But the Falcons, I don't think they're that great of a coach team. I think their defense has improved this season, but I don't really think their offense or Desmond Ridder are legitimate or they're going to be good enough to, make any noise or potentially make the playoffs. Give me them in the got to be better or overrated category, Javon. You can pick.
Yeah, I'll say got to be better. I think you go there. They're just inconsistent. I think the defense is good enough to get them to the playoffs, which is what I still think there. But got to find some kind of rhythm with the offense, which if you're going to run the ball 5,000 times a game, better be more efficient than Bijan's been the last couple weeks.
Okay. Where do you want to put the Ravens here, Javon? What are we thinking? Yeah, I know Goots wants to put them in the Goats cat.
No.
Goots. I feel like they're not coin respecters, though. I don't know. Is it safe to call them coin respecters?
I don't know. I don't think they're coin respecters. I would say
they're not really great ATS this year.
I would say mid.
You think they're kind of mids?
I
feel like they're mid as well. I'm with you. If you don't like the Falcons to make the playoffs, boy, do I have a deal for you. I'm standing by my take with the Bucs. Like I said before the season, I think they win that division. Javon?
Fair.
Don't let them get hot. Okay.
Yeah.
Goots, I'm sorry, man. We got to move them to the mid-cap. It is what it is. They're not coin respecters. They're not goats yet. They're kind of mid. I know that one hurts your soul, but it is what it is. We got to do it. Okay. What else we got, goats? Let's scroll down to the bottom sector here and see what we're working with. The Bills. Oh, I'm biased. This is my Super Bowl pick. Javon, I'll let you take this one. I mean, I wouldn't even care if you put him in the moose shit cat, to be honest with you. I wouldn't blame you at this point. They probably deserve it. Maybe that'll wake them up. But probably overrated. Right?
For the time being, yeah. I think that'll change. I think that'll change in the next couple weeks. But yeah, you can put them there for now.
Yeah, you have to. Okay. What about the Bears, chat? Are we putting the Bears in the moose shit category, our first ever moose shit team?
Yeah.
I think they're pretty moose shit.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Do we, put the Bengals in there too? They're terrible as well. Joe Burrow, they just paid him a bunch of money.
I think they're with the Falcons there, and they got to be better.
Okay.
The Joe Burrow injury kind of lingering hasn't helped them just at every level. It just seems like they have no flow to anything. So
yeah, I'm down. They do have to be better. I feel like that category was honestly meant for them. Okay.
Yeah.
Bengals got to be better, plain and simple. The Browns, I mean, they've had some bad luck. Their QB's getting hurt. That defense is still really good. I'd say they probably aren't in the moose shit or anything below that. Let's scroll up a little bit here. Maybe we put them as mid, or maybe we put them as coin respecters, Javon. Honestly, I mean, they've respected my coins.
I mean, their defense has respected every single coin that I've placed on them. So, I mean, I have absolutely no problem putting them up there.
They might have to be our first ever coin respecter.
Yeah.
Okay.
They respect.
I mean, they've respected my coins so far this year.
Yeah, they respected my coin to a T. So
yeah.
I'm glad to put them up there.
And that defense is too good for us to put them in mid. You're right. They're coin respecters. I'm in. The Cowboys, who acted like they won the Super Bowl and like Dak Prescott's better than MVP after he had his first good game of the season last week. I mean, hilarious. Like, who do they think they are? Why are the Cowboys so entitled? Why do they think they're like the best team every year? They celebrated that game afterwards last week like they won a playoff game. It's like, no, you guys have been ass cheeks, underperforming, and you finally got a win against a terrible Chargers team who you're supposed to beat. I don't get it. They got to be better still.
Yeah. I feel like the overrated category is made for them.
You want to go overrated?
Yeah, I feel like that's just such a Cowboys category. You're going to that every
year. Down
to
put them in there. They are overrated as shit. They stink. They do. God, man, as long as they have Jerry calling the shots, and as long as they have, McCarthy as their coach, and as long as they have Dak as their QB, that team will never win shit. And anybody who disagrees with me, you're wrong. All right, let's keep moving here. Lions, Javon, I think they're pretty good. I don't know if I put them as coin respecters or not, but I feel like they're an underrated team.
I feel like they put them as goats.
Yeah, I agree. I'm getting good vibes from the Lions here. They might be a goat.
Yeah.
Javon, 5-1. I mean, they're a covering machine. They've covered the last 4 weeks in a row and won the last 4 weeks in a row. They're coin respecters, but they're probably also goats. They're underrated. Yeah. I like them.
I mean, nobody still gives a lot of, not just because they're the Lions, but a lot of like the individual players for the Lions they respect. Like, I mean, Jared Goff doesn't get talked about as much as he should, not only as comfortable as he's been controlling that offense, but he also just doesn't turn the ball over, which is huge for them. So, I mean, there's no holes, and they've gone through a couple injuries bugs with their team too. They have no running back now, which is strange. They had a couple of guys banged up, Amon-Ra banged up, Laporta banged up, playing through it. The defense shockingly came out and has been absolutely lights out. So, I mean, they're goats as far as I'm concerned.
Wow, McLovin, big words, and I agree. And I agree with Javon. I think the Lions are very good. I think they are goats, at least up to this point. If they can pull off a fucking upset against the Ravens on the road this week, I mean, they might be solidified as goats.
For a minute,
even if they cover their game.
Saying the Lions won't beat the Chiefs, I have bad news for you, brother.
They literally already did. You fucking idiots. They literally already did. Javon, these are the people we're working with, man, who are chirping in chat. The only reason I ever reply or want to respond is because I think that the other people in chat might think that, I don't know, that they're right for some reason because they see it and it pops in their heads. I hope the people in chat are trusting the people who have their faces on the screens, who are doing recaps every day about their picks, who are just up here being honest and finding winners. I hope that's the case. I hope you're not listening to people in chat who wish they were us, who have no profile picture and are depressed and just angry in chat and just bitching, sounding like they're a fifth grader. I hope you don't actually listen to those people. I hope you listen to us and trust us, people who are blessing you with squad rides that might have not smacked last night, but they're 144, 102, and 3. I hope you're listening to those guys. Okay, let's keep moving and grooving. Javon, we've got the Packers. Oh, they're moose shit, in my opinion. They're terrible. You know, you could also, if you want to argue for got to be better, you could. Do you want to?
I say got to be better only because I feel like some of it is not completely their fault. Like Aaron Jones in that offense, you have to have him. Have to have him. So like there, a lot of injury issues, kind of why I would say got to be better.
Okay. I just feel like their QB is mission. Maybe we pull Jordan Love up there and we'll put his face on there separately. But we can put them in the got to be better. We can put them in there.
I think Aaron Jones is the most important and most valuable weapon to that offense. So like having Jordan Love in there to kind of grow in his first full season, hasn't been good. So like the team hasn't been healthy. So I discount him a little bit for that.
Youngest team in the NFL, a lot of injuries. Give us a break. Yeah. Okay, I'll throw you a bone. We'll put them in the got to be better category because they do. Yeah. They do have to be better. All right. Texans. Javon, I'll let you handle this one. I know I'm a big CJ Stroud guy, but I don't want my biases getting in the way here. What are you thinking for the Texans?
I mean, they've respected my coin, whether I'm tailing or fading them. So I have no problem putting them up there. CJ Stroud's been incredible.
Stroud boys stand up.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryan's incredible hire for that team. So I mean,
dude, yes,
getting that defense to play the way they are is awesome. I mean, it's everything.
Yes. If only somebody said CJ Stroud was going to be the best QB in this class. Oh God, man, I got roasted for that one. I got dragged. You guys acted like freaking Kyler Murray 2.0, but worse. Bryce Young was about to be that guy. Come on. Look at CJ Stroud. Look at him step up in big games. I will still stand on it. I will die on this hill that in the freaking semifinals of the college football playoffs, he put up the best performance I've ever seen in person from a QB, and he lost against Georgia in that game. He is that guy, and if he hasn't shown that to you already this season, you don't know ball. CJ Stroud is going to be a legitimate stud QB for the next 10 years in this league. I can already tell. He's got that mojo. He's got the arm. He's got the intangibles. He's got the brain. He's a great teammate. He takes his line out to dinner every single night. This guy is dialed. He's locked. CJ Stroud is the best QB in that draft class. It's not even close. Put him in the corner specters. I'm in. Yeah. Colts, man, they've had some bad luck. They've had one of the weirdest seasons, I'd probably say, in the NFL with the Jonathan Taylor shit before. And now with, Anthony Richardson out for the year, Javon. So maybe we give him a break. Maybe they're, going to start to sneak tank. I don't know if it'd be a sneak anymore, though, without their QB. What are you thinking? We put them in the Panthers category?
No, I think there's moose shit for now. Which, again, is not completely their fault. Not completely their fault.
It is not their fault, but they are moose shit. So
what are we the situation they've been in. So it's unfortunate.
It's not their fault, but they are moose shit.
Yeah, this is perfect right here. I don't think they're moose shit, but they're in moose shit. That's why they're
Fruity spawns for Colts. I'm geeking. They are in moose shit, technically.
Yeah.
All right. Jaguars. People are saying the Jags are back, Javon, but Trevor Lawrence might not be playing this week. Either way, I don't really think they're back. I think they pulled off some crazy wins on, a neutral site where they've dominated and played the most games and have a lot of experience, and that really helped them out the last couple of weeks. If there was a fraudulent category, I'd probably put them in that, but maybe the overrated category, right? Yeah, I think they're overrated. I do. And I think the Saints will beat them. And also, did you know that the Saints have smacked like 16 straight unders in their games going back to last season? Are you hip to that?
Yeah, that's the game they have to play. I mean, the defense is solid, and they obviously can't score themselves. So
yeah. Well, I know that total
there. Sean Payton tier there.
What's up? Yeah, just put him in the Sean Payton tier. Yeah. Unbelievable. Okay. Chiefs, Javon, what are you thinking about the Chiefs, man? Do you think they got to be better? Do you think they're goats? I know they're 5-1. I know at the end of the season, they're still going to be going into the playoffs, walking in with ease, and probably getting to the freaking bowl once again because they got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and some sort of weird partnership with the NFL and Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. It might be a relationship or it might just be fake. We don't really know. TBD on that, chat. We don't know what the hell's going on with that. What we do know is the Chiefs still have the best player in, football history potentially. But have they been playing like it,
No.
Javon? Do they deserve to be coin respecters? Do they deserve to be GOATs? I will say they've covered more this season than they have typically.
Yeah, my thing with that is a couple of these games that they've covered, they've scored 17 and 19 points, which is the issue. So, I think it'll change come the end of the season, but right now I'd say they're a little overrated. This offense.
Their schedule
the
has
same.
been so easy too, Javon, playing the Broncos, Vikings, Jets, Bears, Jags. Come on. They're playing the most cake teams out there. Are they a little overrated?
As of right now, yeah. I don't think it'll stay
That one
that
might piss some people off. Mhm.
Yeah, it could. It could. It's just, you're throwing all your targets in the game to Rashee Rice, which is, I think the guy has looked great. It's just not the way that offense is supposed to flow. And you can tell by watching it. It looks very uncomfortable, very non-Mahomes-like, very lack of Bieniemy. Is the thing there too.
Yeah, and maybe they need to go out and get a good receiver because they don't have one. Okay? They might need to go out and get one. It can't just all be Kelsey.
Yeah.
I don't know. He could take you into the playoffs. I don't know if he's going to take you to the Super Bowl. They need a guy. What are they going to – Rashee Rice? Is he going to be their guy? Come on. Come on.
Yeah, it's just I know what you're doing.
All right. Chargers, put them in the freaking Panthers category. They suck. What do you think? They're terrible.
Yeah,
they're actually not a good team. They have the worst coaches of all time. Even Justin Herbert isn't doing that thing where he comes back out of nowhere and clutches up and pulls out a freaking comeback win out of his ass. The Chargers are moose shit. We could put them in there too if you want, Javon. Put them in the moose shit cap.
Yeah, you can put them in the better category. It's a lot of it's Brandon Staley, but it's also when are you going to start having the Justin Herbert conversation?
Is he even that guy?
He has great arm talent. He can throw the ball far and he can throw the ball hard. But again, I'm not going to act like the Chargers' woes have not been mostly on Brandon Staley. But how many times has Herbert come through in these clutch moments?
Yeah. I feel like Herbert is the clutch guy that I think he has the most comebacks in NFL history in the last 3 years, Javon. But he just starts out like shit.
I'm talking as of lately.
Lately, no.
Yeah, chance this week.
No.
Yeah, chance this week.
Yeah, not good this season. Not looking sharp. I agree. We put them in the moose shit guy. I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in. The Rams. I feel like the Rams got to be better. I feel like they're not moose shit. I feel like they're still better than people expect, but they got to be better than they are right now. I feel like they have potential to potentially make some noise and sneak into the playoffs this year if they can get their shit together. Puka Nacua coming out of nowhere and being a stud wide receiver. You put him up with Kupp and Stafford, that team could win and beat anybody any night. But their defense is kind of sus. Apparently, Jalen Ramsey is, potentially returning to practice today. That could be huge for them, although I don't even know how important he is for that defense anymore. He could be washed. Either way, though, I'd say we probably got to put them in the got to be better cat. What do you think?
Honestly, mid probably should have been in between overrated and got to be better, but I'll put them in the mid.
Well, we can move it. We can move it.
Oh, you can move it. Yeah, I think they're mid. I think they're mid. So I think
they're mids.
To be honest with you, that defense, which is full of a bunch of no names, has been a little better than I expected coming into the season. And if they continue to play like that and their offense starts to flow, kind of like the Rams offense of old, which it's you've seen that at times, they're gonna be competing. So I'd say mid.
Okay. We'll go with mids. I'd love to say the Raiders are sneak tanking, but now they're sitting at 3-3 with, potentials to maybe even make the playoffs still. Their season's not dead yet. 2 big wins they're coming off of against Green Bay and New England. But that team stinks, Javon. Jimmy G, maybe he is a system QB. Maybe he needs, a Kyle Shanahan to hold his hand and walk him through the game because right now with McDaniels, it's just simply not working. And the Raiders are atrocious. I don't know where you want to put them. I think they're moose shit. I think you can put them in the Sean Payton category. Whatever you want to do with them, but they're terrible.
Yeah, I'd say moose.
Moose. Okay. Moose. W-Wags. 4-3 next week, baby, versus the Bears. they do play the Bears this week. So, they've got an easy schedule.
Tyson Badgett, or however you say his name.
Yeah. Give me the Bears +3.
Yeah,
That might be the nastiest bet on the board. Oh,
they also have Brian Hoyer as their quarterback, most likely too. So
okay. The battle of the
if
backups.
you're watching that game and you're not a fan of either team, I would like you to be checked into some sort of facility.
That'll be me.
Yeah, you included.
That'll be me. Yep, I'll be watching it. I'll be betting on it. Okay. Yeah, I prefer those. I don't know. It's the same thing I said the other night. I'd rather watch a Mount St. Mary's game than a Kansas game. There's a screw loose in my brain. It is what it is. We're here.
Unreal.
Can't deny it.
Unreal.
Let's move. Chats. Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are GOAT tier. I really do. I think they're elite. Right?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Oh, the Ravens made their way up to
Get
the
the
goats,
Ravens
huh?
out of there, Goots. You
I
can't be
bet.
sneak moving them into the GOAT
I
category. They're
bet.
fucking overrated, dude. They're mids. You want to put them in overrated instead of mid?
the Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep them at mid. They got proven.
Okay. All right. Dubs. Yeah, nice try, Goots. I'll be keeping eyes on that one. Don't even try to pull that again. Vikings. Vikings. I mean, you could put them in the Panthers category. You can put them in the sneak tanking category too, maybe. I don't know what their game plan is. I mean, Kirk Cousins is a free agent after this year. Maybe they are sneak tanking. I don't know. But they did pull out a win last week, so maybe they're not tanking. Maybe they're just the Panthers. Maybe they just suck.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Keep with the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, they deserve it. Okay. I'd say that win last week probably confirms they're not sneak tanking, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see how they do without JJ in the next couple of weeks.
All right. Dubs. Patriots, you can put them in the Panthers cat. I mean, they're terrible, right? Or you can put them in Sean Payton if you want, but they don't deserve to be above those other
Keep them
teams,
with the
right?
Panthers.
Yeah, they're terrible. Jets. Don't sleep on the Jets. Are the Jets coin respecters?
It might.
It's close. They
It
might
might
be
be.
coin respecters. I got to go back and see how they've done for the kids. And also, do they not play this week? Whose sons are guns? They don't. They got to buy. I mean, guys, Aaron Rodgers is going to pull off some crazy, never before seen healing on his leg by doing God knows what. It's coming. Just wait. The guy is just not a human being, straight up. But the Jets are coming off a nice win against the Eagles here, Javon. I mean, no joke. And they've got a bye week. Maybe they'll get Rodgers back at the end of the season for a playoff run if they can just hang in there with that defense, which is a top 5 defense in football, in my opinion. They're still playing great without some of their best players who are hurt. So do we put them in the coin respecters cat, Javon? What do you think?
I think it's between, and we can flip coin respecters and overrated. That probably should be like that too.
Okay.
But I'd say they're right on the border here between mid and coin respecters for me. I mean, they've definitely the defense respects a lot of coins, and even when I took the over, Zach Wilson against Denver respected my coin a little bit. So it's a tough call.
I think I'm going to go with coin respecters here. They might not be, positive ATS on the season, but they are at least for us. They've been respecting our coins in sharp spots. I think we take them. But they're close. They barely even got that one. Okay. We'll keep that in mind for next week if we update this. What about the Eagles? I mean, they are so mid, in my opinion, and they got to be better. They're overrated, though. You could also put them in. It's probably a category net for them.
I'd say overrated. Yeah,
it's got to be
overrated until they show something different.
They are overrated as shit. I mean, anybody who says differently is incorrect, straight up. Steelers move shit. Goots is making the executive decision there as a Ravens fan.
Yeah.
Do you have any qualms there?
None.
Yeah, they're move shit. Okay, I'm in. Seahawks. Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's really tough.
I don't even know what to do with the Seahawks, man. What do we do with them?
Say they're mid.
They are kind of mid, but they're 3-2. They got a winning record. They're playing Arizona this week.
Just play every team tough. They got to give them credit for on the road.
I agree, though. They're mids. They are mid. Okay. 49ers. Excuse me. Jesus. 49ers. Javon. Coming off a crazy L. But they are the GOATs. I feel like even coming off that loss, they're still the best team in football. Put them in the GOATs cat, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. The Bucs. Javon, I'll let you take this one. It's your team.
Yeah, got to be better. They feel like so parallel to the Falcons for me right now. I don't think it's going to stay that way the rest of the year. But right now, I mean, the offense is the issue. They brought the creamsicles back for the first time in 10 years to watch them not score a touchdown in that game. So that's awesome. Little waste there. But yeah, Baker is not doing it for me. It's just he had a couple flash in the pan good games at the beginning of the season against terrible teams. He's not going to be starting by the end of the season. I'm still sticking to that. But
Gotta be
gotta
better.
They're close to moose shit. They're going to get there in a couple weeks.
Are the Titans moose shit, man? What do we think about the Titans?
For now.
They got to buy this week.
Yeah. I'd say for now they are. I don't think it's
They're pretty moose. Also, they got to be better too, though.
Yeah, maybe got to be better is a better look for them.
I think they do got to be better.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe I'm biased, but Javon, this might be the toughest team to place. Do we have an angle on this team? Do we know if they're good or bad? I mean, they lost 3 games in a row. They freaking hop back up, and they pulled off a nice – they're not the Panthers. Grow up.
Yeah, put them with the
You could put them in the Sean Payton category, though, potentially, with them having a moose shit coach. But Behenemy probably cancels out Ron Rivera there, so maybe they don't deserve that. I don't think they're moose shit either. Maybe they're mids. Maybe they got to be better.
I think got to be better. That's what I
If you're going to put the Commanders with the Ravens in the same category, I'm not allowing that.
I think the Commanders would beat the Ravens on a neutral field.
I fucking bet.
I do. I think we beat them.
All right.
I think our D-line would clamp up and keep Lamar, limited. And I think our offense would shine against an overrated Ravens defense.
Grabs. Couldn't even link up Justin Fields in that offense.
That game didn't count. Okay, Emmanuel Forbes literally lost us that game, our first-round pick, Javon, who, by the way, didn't play last week. He's found bench. They're resetting him in his career because he was so bad. I think the Commanders would beat the Ravens on a neutral field. I do.
Where are we playing?
Well, yeah, now maybe they do deserve to be in the freaking Sean Payton Cats. Guys, they're 3-3. They're right where they need to be. They're playing great. They're balling.
Got to be better.
Got to be better. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. They're not mids. They're not good enough to be mid yet. They just got to be a little bit better, and then they'll be mid. Okay. Chats, what'd you guys think of this segment? We'll start at the top here, and we'll slowly scroll down. A couple goats. Check it out, though. Let me know what you guys agree with, what you disagree with. What are your thoughts? How are the Steelers moose shit leading the division, beating the Browns and the Ravens? They're just moose shit. They're not good. That's why. They're not good. I don't think the Steelers are great at all. Jags should be lower. People are saying, I don't know. I feel like this is probably the perfect list, and it's absolutely correct. And anybody saying anything differently is incorrect. I think this is the perfect list. Javon, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Nothing wrong with this list at all. Any other opinions are stupid. Just trying to do my best chat impression.
W's. Okay. All right, chats. Let's go ahead and move and groove. Pats could be sneak tanking too. People forget. We'll come back to that next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Javon, for now, we got to talk about these Wednesday night football games. I mean, they're absolute news shits. And then we're going to talk about the ALCS. But let's talk about Sam Houston State, guys. Let's talk about Brad Cornelson. This Sam Houston State team, who I stuck my neck out for last week and bet once again, so this will be the 3rd week in a row that I'm betting on this absolutely terrible team, who is 0-6 and has not gotten a win yet, and their offensive coordinator does not know how to run plays. I can't figure out for the life of me, Javon, why this team is sitting at -5.5. They're the worst team in Power 5, the worst team in FBS, and they're laying almost a touchdown to a 3-4 team, FIU, who is not good, but they don't have any big injuries that I'm seeing. And they're a legitimate football program. They're at least a team. They have 3 wins. Sam Houston State this year, their offense has looked like the worst offense in the entire FBS. And now they're laying 5.5, Javon. Now, I will say, in that last game with Sam Houston State, they went down, I believe it was, nothing big. They just went down 27-0 in that game at half. Or 24-0 at half, Javon. Nothing crazy there. And then they come back and they end up putting up a 13-burger against New Mexico State in the second half. Maybe don't let Sam Houston State get hot, Javon. Maybe they figured out something there in the second half of that offense at Brad Cornelson. It'd be a stretch, to say the least, but they outscored New Mexico State 13-3 in the second half of that last game. Still, we're not even close to covering. That's how bad they played in the first half. Guys, this team is fucking terrible. They just came up from the FBS or from the FCS last year, Javon, just like Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State's night and day. How ahead of schedule they already are compared to Sam Houston State here, Javon. I just don't understand for the life of me why they're laying 5.5 here, and it's an auto bet. We have to take it. We don't have a choice, Chad. We don't have a choice.
Has to be. And, as bad as Sam Houston State is, or at least appears to be, they're 0-6 with losses to BYU.
Their schedule's hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Schedule's been difficult. BYU, Air Force, who they only lost by 10 points to at home. Houston, they got crushed by on the road. And Liberty, who they actually hung in with 5-point loss on the road there. FIU, on the other hand, their best win is North Texas, UConn. They've played shit teams. So, I don't think these teams are nearly as different as you would think just looking a blind eye at both these two games or these teams in this game. So Sam Houston, I think they do lock in today. And again, FIU's offense has been god-awful at every level. Again, not much different from Sam Houston, who's done that against a lot better defenses. So in this game, I do think they lock down on defense and shut down. And this is a crazy line, probably one of the craziest ones I've seen in college football this season. So you just got to plug your nose and do it.
W Grins. Goots, we might have a W Grins intro vid for today. Once we get to that in 5 minutes, you want to try to pull off some magic, Goots, behind the scenes? See if you can pull that off. Javon, this is one of those games, one of those bets that we don't have a goddamn choice. We have to lock in, at least for a responsible unit. You guys don't have to go 5U sneak well. You can go responsible 1U here. You could even go half U if you're feeling weird. But it's a must bet, mandatory. I can't find a single thing on FIU being injured. I can't find a single reason why Sam Houston State deserves to be laying 5.5 in this spot. It is a must bet. We have to give Sam Houston State and the Bearcats with a K one more fucking chance, Javon. I'm not happy about it. I didn't wake up today and say, I really hope Sam Houston State is -6 against FIU. No, honestly, I'm pissed off about it, but we got to bet it. We don't have a choice. And hey, maybe the Sam Houston State team has hit rock bottom, and maybe their defense, which was supposed to be decent, they were great in FCS last year. They have an NFL linebacker on their team, Trevor Williams, who's a stud, and he's about to break the freaking college football record for most career tackles, if you can count his FCS tackles. The guy's an absolute beast. He's an NFL linebacker. He can lead that defense to be good enough today, but can their offense figure it out? Maybe they did figure something out in the second half of that last game, Javon, where they put up a 14-piece, the most points they'd scored in a half all season. And guys, their schedule has been so freaking hard, Sam Houston State. Whoever set their schedule in the first year for them being FBS should be fired.
Well, you know why
they set up to play all these great teams?
Well, you know why they do that. When it's your first year playing FBS,
they're just trying to get their glop up.
Yeah, they're trying to get these bye games, so they're trying.
Okay.
Trying to build the bankroll a little bit for the next couple of years, which some teams do, some teams don't. But
that's fair.
It's a business move by them. They know what they're doing.
That's fair. Yep. It's probably the whole reason they went up to FBS anyway, so I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Guys, everything is business these days. It sucks. It is what it is. Great call by us on Southern Miss yesterday, too. That was just one of the worst bets of all time. That's on me. I take full blame for that one. This play today is not like that, though, chat. This is maybe the weirdest line I've seen in college football all season. I mean, I'm not even over-exaggerating. This has got to be the weirdest line I've seen all year. And we have to do something about it. We have to capitalize. We have to strike. We have to attack responsibly and take Sam Houston State and the Bearcats -5.5 at home. They're winning this game by 7. It is what it is. B Camp, I know they're awful, but I also know you get it. And I know that you're going to be on them as well today. We don't have a choice. Okay. Javon, any other thoughts on the Bearcats?
No, I think you've captured it perfectly. Just a line that you have to take, a game that you have to bet, a side that you have to bet in this game, and it's the Bearcats with a K. They get it done. Honestly, I think their defense holds it down. I think the defense holds it down. So, not to say this has been very easy for Sam Houston to achieve over the past couple of weeks, but might only need 20 points, which, again, against FIU, it seems a lot easier of a task, but Sam Houston has not been scoring the ball many times.
I go 0-5 one day after I've been hot as hell for the last 6 weeks, and you go square on me after one bad night, Shote?
Unreal.
Come on. Stick with it. Stick with the program. And yeah, Chad, maybe it is a little Houston two-piece parlay. All right. Yeah, that total's low for that spread to be that fat with these bad teams, Javon. It's probably going to be FIU.
Especially
staying off the
with
scoreboard.
Sam Houston involved. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen totals in the mid-30s half of their games, maybe more. And with them favored by 5.5, you'd think like they're not going to score to do it. And even though this FIU defense is god awful, we've seen it with worse defenses that they've played too. So I mean, it does feel like a little touch high of a total. So maybe they just come out and they actually score today, which would be huge.
Okay. Chat, for anybody who thinks I'm a shit better after one bad night, if you're wondering how I've been doing the last 30 days, 67, 52, and 3, up 8.8 units. I'm up here every day showing my face, up here recapping, up here talking about plays. You guys are in chat with no PFPs, just saying bullshit that's not even true. I'm better than you. Suck it. How about that? We'll leave it there, Javon. Let's go ahead and pivot to New Mexico State and UTEP. Another weird line a little bit here. Some weird QB shit going on, Javon. Let the people know what's good with this game.
Yeah, so I mean, we really don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be for UTEP. It's kind of difficult to figure out. It's seeming like we're going to go with Cade McConnell, or they're going to go with Cade McConnell, who came in last week, kind of last minute, looked like Peyton Manning off the bench. And then we still have Gavin Hardison kind of looming. It seems like he's getting healthier, but he's only going to go if Cade McConnell can't go because he got knocked out of last week's game as well. So it's a lot of news that's pretty hard to keep track of. So we'll see come game time, but I would say it's Cade as of now. I haven't seen anything too different yet. So what is your lean on this game?
I'd definitely go +3. Give me the points with the new and improved backup QB. Probably a good thing that they've got him in there, and cannot confirm it yet, Javon, but by looking at the lines, it's probably going to be the backup QB, right? And then New Mexico State is just not great, and they've got that QB passing touchdown square up, Javon, that I also want to fade today too on Prize Picks, which looks way too easy to take the more than on that. So I want to fade him, and we're due on Prize Picks, man. My goodness, after the last 2 nights. I mean, sheesh. But I would not mind one bit taking Diego Pavia, less than 1.5 passing touchdowns, Javon. He's been balling. I'd like to fade.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't think he's going to go under because he just has a shit performance. I think he goes under because he uses his legs, and that offense uses their legs a lot more, like in the run game. I think that's going to be the star of the show for New Mexico State, win or lose in this game. So I don't have a problem fading that. But I would also love to back, maybe it's Pavia rushing or just New Mexico State from the running back room in general. But they're going to run all over UTEP, I think, regardless of the outcome.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, they're going to be running the ball. I mean, that's probably why they put that square up, Javon. Right?
Yeah.
Looks easy, but it's just not, simply. Okay. Dubs, any hockey plays real quick here, Javon, before we pivot to baseball?
Yeah, I don't have much there. I mean, I like
the 2 games on the ice.
Yeah, I like the Sens, but I'm not laying the juice there. I think if you want to take the Sens, you'll lay a puck line, if anything, for +140. I took a prop in that game, or Prize Pick Square, which is Drew over faceoffs. Like the Caps so far this season have been god awful in the faceoff square between Backstrom, Dowd, and I think one more there. They all have been god awful, and Drew is known for this. This is what he comes in and does. He's been great to start the season as well. So I was looking for a square just because there's not much on the board. Went with that. So that's what I'm going with. But the side and totals are kind of tough today. I'm good there.
Okay. Yeah, they are. And only 2 games. Houston, Texas. Little ALCS action here, folks. Max Scherzer back from the grave. Unbelievable. The guy's just got so much heart. And I will say he could be the difference for the Rangers here, not only in this series, but if they advance in the World Series. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to pitch his best today, Javon. And is some of the stuff you're seeing on the Prize Picks board telling you we might be getting some runs in this game? We'll bet.
Yeah, I mean, I think we do. It's hard to read because Scherzer's coming back, and he's going to be on a little bit of a pitch limit. I think I saw 70, 75 somewhere, but you would kind of think that regardless in this situation. So he's going to be coming back against a desperate Astros team. I don't think he pitches all that well. And it's the thing with this series here is too, I like the over because of the matchup that we're getting today. But after the last 2 games, both these teams have seen a lot of both of these bullpens. So I don't think you're going to be seeing many shutdown games come to the back end of these games the rest of the series. No matter, I mean, God forbid the Rangers sweep and it's 2 games. I still think the same. But even if it gets longer and you get drawn out, I think there's going to be runs after how much this bullpen has been used and how much they've seen both of these lineups. So with Christian Javier on the board here, who I think is also going to give us some runs to this Rangers offense, you look on the board, you see the Adolis couple squares, which feel very similar to when we took them last series against the Astros. The squares look similar when he hit a nuke, when they blew him out, I think, to clinch in that game. We see Mitch Garver for stuff. A lot of high odds for a lot of guys in this game on the Rangers side. I just think we get runs from both sides here, which if you look at the PP squares and everything, it kind of leans you that way. But again, it's hard to trust the Rangers bullpen that's been really good, but they're going to be out for an extended outing post-Max Scherzer against a lineup that's seen them quite a few times. And to be honest with you, they got pretty lucky in some of the BABIP. You look at the numbers there against the Astros, who were killing some baseballs. The approach didn't look fantastic for a lot of these at-bats, but we definitely want to back runs in the rest of the series, but especially today.
Dude, they took off that freaking Mitch Garver run square. Now they only have his hits, runs, RBIs.
I mean, if it's off, it's probably not for the best reason. But, yeah, I mean, I would be 100% down to just go anybody else.
You don't want to take Big Mitch?
I mean, I like Mitch. Like Mitch, don't love.
Okay.
It is
right. I wanted to take that run square up when that was up, and now it's gone. Maybe it's a bit there.
That's fair.
What about that Scherzer earn run square or the Scherzer pitching out square? Wouldn't mind fading him on either of those if we're liking this over.
The thing with Scherzer is that he's on like a known kind of limit, so it's hard to fade because it seems very obvious, you know, and it could be a leash issue there. But I will say, when I look at the board and I know that Scherzer's on a little bit of a limit, he still has a higher fantasy score than Christian Javier does. And then you see Christian Javier also with the 2.5 earned run square that hasn't sniffed a single run the last 2 starts.
Maybe that's just the play. Keep it simple and fade him. Okay.
Could be.
W's. Also, Garcia last night got bumped down on his fantasy score and then got bumped back up to 7.5, I believe I'm seeing, Javon. I saw he got bumped down from 7 to 6.5 last night, but now he's up to 7.5. So he's back. Definitely can't be fading him today. I might have to be taking him today, to be honest with you. Okay. I could definitely get behind that earn run square. That's for sure. What is it? The Javier 2.5. I like that. Is there any other bat you want to take? I know you mentioned you wanted to take Garcia last night. Are you still in for that?
I don't love it because if you look on the green book, he's in the same spot.
Yes, of course.
Castellanos was in to get boosted for a hit yesterday, and he went over.
Yes, of course.
I'm still probably going to sneak him in something because I do still like the spot, but I'm not going to.
Garcia. Okay. No Garcia today, folks. We tried. We can't force that.
Did you have a sneak Evan Carter on the board for fantasy score? First time I've seen that. I mean, he hasn't been up, the entire season or been on the team all season, but first time I've seen him up for a fantasy score at all. He's been good in that lineup, but not in terms of hitting this. So that's interesting that it's up.
Yes, it is. I bet he does something today. And chat, don't you worry. We'll get something out for you guys. We'll get some slips out, even with the limited slate. We'll get you right on Prize Picks. All right, so tune into the Book of BTL Twitter. We'll get you. For now, chat, we got to hop into the BTL squad ride. Let's start cooking. Go ahead. Sure. W News segment vid. Yes, out of nowhere, Javon. That might have scared some people.
Just might have.
Might have sketched them out. Okay. W's, chat. We're trying to get some more of those done for the rest of the show, not just the squad rides. But yeah, the train's here, guys. Get the fuck out of the way or get on board. Okay. Javon, got to put the over in for Houston and Texas.
Yes.
Got to put Sam Houston State in. Not happy about it. It is what it is.
It's just something we got to be doing.
And it's just going to hit. I hate to say it, but chat, if you guys like winners, that's probably going to be the one. Do we want to put in UTEP, or are you a little scared off of them? You think New Mexico State might run it down their throats?
I don't mind putting UTEP in. I think they run it down their throats. That doesn't mean they necessarily win the game, in my eyes.
Okay.
I just think that's going to have to be how they play.
Okay.
I don't
sure. We could roll with these 3 on a limited slate. So we could add some Prize Pick squares. What do you want to do?
I'm good to go with those 3.
I think I am too. Let's make it a big 3 today. There's only 5 games anyways today, chat. 3 plays, 3 winners. You have 2 minutes to lock in this squad ride. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. You have 2 minutes, folks. Get these plays in. We've got Houston and Texas over 9. We got Sam Houston State -5.5. Probably the nastiest and weirdest line I've seen the entire college football season, chat. And I wish I was joking. I wish it didn't exist, but it does. And now we got to take it. And then we got UTEP +3 as well, chat. 3 plays, 3 winners. I'm new. Is this a parlay? No, sir. So if you're in here on Twitch, you can see the BTL squad ride poll in the chat, my man. You can vote for the squad ride that we all lock in and take and sweat out tonight for our big play. And squad rides so far are 144, 102, and 3. Okay, so we're 42 games over 500. We've been doing this for about the past year or so, chats. 144, 102, and 3. All graded, all transparency, all on the Book at BTL Twitter. Okay, we post these every day. If you're a newbie, make sure you guys drop a follow. Make sure you guys follow us on Pickett Sports, the best bet tracking app out there by far on the App Store and Google Play. Go check out Pickett. All right, go see what Trent's on for the day. And make sure you guys stick around for the Surge stream as well. I think they're running Surge before the squad heads to the ALCS game tonight.
Yeah.
W's. All right. Whose original idea was the squad ride? Give them their credit. Richie, I think it was our idea, my man. I'm not really exactly sure. It was like a year ago. Let me know, though. Chat, hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get your votes in. Hurry up. You guys are soft for not taking Sam Houston State. I'm not surprised. But I'll be back on here tomorrow chirping you when Sam Houston cashes and Houston, Texas ends 1-0. All right? It's coming. It's coming. Chat, W's. All right? We're rolling with the over in Houston, Texas. Okay? Stick around for the Surge stream starting up here soon. And shout out Chelly, by the way. If you guys see Chelly today or his tweets pop up on your feed, people forget he smacked a little Chele last night. That was the only bet I fucking hit the entire night, Chelly. That's what I'm talking about. You're keeping me afloat. You're keeping me alive. W's Chell. Love to see it. Hockey's back, and so is he. Fuck yes. That's what I'm talking about. All right? Guys, you can still bet on Sam Houston. Don't you fret. All right? But the squad ride is the Houston and Texas over 9. And we'll catch you guys on here tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing.